good. Look.
Yeah.
Somebody needs a shot.
Anytime you want
Oh,
to
testing
begin.
1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Booby boo 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 boo.
Somebody named C-Rod wants
Gleto's on. What? Is he still on vacation? Gleto, you still on vacation? Is that why you're home? Just watching
What is he? I don't
watching live streams. Tune in now to our Facebook Live.
So weird.
Testing 1 2. Had a Merry Christmas.
Ooh.
What is it?
Ladies.
We'll be starting here in a second here. Facebook.
Thank you.
Starting here in a second
Mask.
here.
Cool.
Yeah, so.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about.
So, if you share and you start a watch party,
You have to stay on it.
say something about your watch party. Hey, watch with this watch party. Are we? Okay. Oh, weird. I'm hearing myself. Okay, you'll be notified when people join your watch party. What? We're going dark? Oh, because we got the glow stick. And you can still see us on the video, right?
Take it. This is the
Seems
New Year's
weird.
edition.
Why don't we? Yeah, we get a little.
I thought it was going to be that too.
It does it. Oh, is it supposed to have little? Why don't you do the ones that are just this part, Mike? Ándale. There we go.
What is
Yeah,
that?
where's the? Hey,
Where are the
Angelita,
connectors?
where's the little connectors for these?
Dude, I have
Glow
no
sticks.
idea.
Dollar store, they don't have those?
Yeah, they do. They're in the bottom of
Oh,
it. They're
you
always in the
rotate
bottom of
this
it.
Look.
direction.
it goes.
Angelita,
Yeah.
I'll start off by saying I appreciate
Angelita,
everything you do.
The glow stick connectors
Second
are in the
part will
bottom
be,
of the, yeah,
why don't
that
you do it
thing.
right?
It should be in the bottom of that.
Oh, hey, these things don't have strings. Oh, there it is.
I buy these for my kids all the time. You throw them in the bathtub.
All right,
Turn the lights
everybody,
Yeah, that's
Facebook
true.
Live, we're getting decorated up.
Oh, how do we do this?
off.
So-
I don't.
Rotate.
Oh, you rotate it
Arrow directions.
left.
Not
Do
point
not
at face.
point it at your
Do not
face.
point at face, right? Yeah.
Point it here. Point it here.
Okay, yay!
Like that.
Oh, there it is.
Yay! All right, I'm putting glow sticks everywhere, huh?
I noticed that I got nominated as a co.
Yeah.
I just like Angelita's cleaning everything up, by the way.
End, yeah.
I saw what she did, but I'm trying to figure what to do with these glow sticks because we can't really.
I was decorating your...
Oh, that's what we're looking for. That's what
So
we're looking
connect
for.
it and then put it over
The
your
connectors.
Hey, Mark,
Okay.
can you get that for me?
Oh.
What?
Oh my God, it's so much prep time here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody on Facebook Live, for joining us. We will be starting actual thing here in the. Well, I guess we could start, and you can do that while we're
Can you?
talking. Okay, that sounds great. All right.
Since I don't know what I'm doing anyway, I can do anything.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
What are the Boston peanuts that are covered in red? Those Boston baked peanuts?
Boston baked peanuts.
Yeah, so like my aunt had the Boston baked peanuts.
You need a microphone.
Okay, so my aunt had the Boston baked peanuts. Right, over Christmas.
Is this a long story?
No, it's really
I'd like
short.
to start the radio
So
show.
everyone is there. She goes to the bathroom and she starts screaming that she's got blood. Yeah,
What?
yeah.
What?
And everybody runs to the bathroom.
It looks.
And then, so that's the topic for the next day and a half is that, she's bleeding and then he's making a doctor's appointment when she gets, back on schedule. In the meantime, everybody else is eating Boston
Baked beans.
beans. And and then everybody else is like, oh, my God, when they go to the bathroom. We've got what she's
We're
got.
all dying.
Yeah, she gave us something.
Turns out when she went to the store, she made a mistake and asked for the Boston Strangler.
Zombie. That's a special drink. It's like a Bloody Mary, but a little different.
That was such more
So,
funnier than
Pass those down.
Angelita's story.
Right, yeah. That was the payoff to Angelita's story. Okay, so I'm ready.
Okay.
Chris, you ready? Chris has all been ready. Okay. All right, everybody. It's the Saturday Night Super Show,
Yay.
New Year's Eve edition, kind of,
Yay.
sort of. We're having fun here. We've got little party hats on. For those listening, you just have to imagine it. We got party hats on, and I like that Jacinto still has the tag on the front. He's very mini Pearl right now. For those of you in my age bracket, you'll know
that's
who Mini
awesome.
Pearl is.
He's on the
but-
blue light
but-
special.
Yeah, on the blue light, right. But this is gonna be fun. We have a great show today. We have a lot of special guests in studio. We have my good friend Lenore, who is just I don't even know how to describe you. You're a businesswoman. You are a fitness guru. I mean, to me, and just all kinds of stuff. And so, just say hi real quick, and then
Hey, everybody.
we'll get to. Yeah, so it's Lenore Gregson now.
Gregson.
I knew you before you were Gregson.
Yes.
Yeah, so because I don't even remember now. What was it, Lenore? What was your previous pre-Gregson name?
My husband will say he doesn't want to know.
He doesn't wear is it alias or what? Yeah,
No, it's Kaiser.
So,
It's
yeah.
Kaiser.
IFBB Pro Lenore, or however. Yeah, there we go. So, and then my friend Desiree Cruz, who is again a woman of many titles. You're a life coach,
Yep.
A speaker, a mom,
A mom.
and what else should we throw in there?
A superhero.
And a superhero, yes. And you're a party animal now because you're wearing a party hat. And then we have Kara Stevens in studio. She is a artist, singer, songwriter,
Yes.
all kinds of different things. And then you have with you.
Oh, this is my
your
amazing pianist and songwriting partner.
Co-writer, I guess. And you've brought some of your CDs, and we're going to get to listen to.
Concert.
Yeah, and then we got stuff coming up that we're going to talk about, and so we'll play a little bit of your music in a little while, which will be awesome. Thank you for bringing this in.
Thank you.
And actually, on this live CD, are y'all are both performing on this one?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so that'll probably be good. So we'll get your suggestion on what you think we should listen to a little bit. And then we also have in studio my buddy Jacinto Rodriguez, who is an actor, dancer, model, all kinds of stuff, and one of my favorite movies that he was in was Pitch Perfect. So I'm a big
Aka amazing.
Yeah, right. Aka amazing. I love it. We need to do that the whole show. Aka something.
And recently, it's a little less than a year ago, actually, I released my first single and shot it here in San Antonio.
Yeah, we're going to talk
Videos
about
out.
that. That's awesome,
So,
man. That's
make it
good stuff.
happen.
I remember when you were
Nice.
working on that,
Yes,
man. Good
yes.
stuff. And so, and if you can, I'm not saying, you need to, but if you could text Anna Kendrick while we're on, let her know Roman Garcia is really a closet super fan. So,
And Anna says,
Not so
please
closet."
stop texting me. There is the restraining order.
right, yeah. I love Anna Kendrick. I've become a big fan. I even like when she's in the commercials. I just watch those things. Makes me want to go book a stay somewhere. Hey, look at that. Makes me look fat. No, I'm sorry. It's all the it's all the holiday food making me look fat is what it is. Yeah, that's right. And then of course we have producer Mike in studio, and then we have yet to be determined title Angelita here, who brought us all these cool party favors.
Hello, everyone.
She's
We've
a
got
secret producer, intern.
Yeah, that's right. Angelita, you got the connectors for these
and
little,
she
Powerful
was-
my
woman.
little
Yeah, I
glow
passed
sticks?
them around. You should have received one.
I
She
didn't
was
get one yet.
early
Yeah.
today.
Get
She was
one.
only 40 minutes late.
Oh, that's good.
That's a lie.
I think for the New Year's resolution, Angelita,
We're
you
here
need
at
to
1:30, ma'am.
It's a malicious lie.
you need
That's so
to
bad.
you need to work on that for the
He was
for the
actually here at
New
1:45.
Year.
You know
Alisa,
what, though,
so-
Roman? Mike told me that I was supposed to be here at like 2:45, 3 o'clock every week.
Why? When we're leaving? Yeah, that's what it is. Hey, nice.
Alita's the party provider
Yeah.
for the stars.
There you go. So either way, I'll pretend that this glow stick works around my neck. Well, I hope everybody had a good Christmas. I had a fun Christmas. I had this was our grandbaby's first Christmas, which was super cute. And I tell you what, with all the stuff there, cute stuff out there to buy for kids. I mean, you already know that when you have kids, but when you have a grandkid, like even more so. And it was like we're handing out gifts, and it's like, and here's another one for the baby, another one for the baby. All my other kids are sitting there like, anything for us,
Funny.
And as a little, I say as a joke, but not really, more of a life lesson. Thank you. For my kids, I bought them each a box of stovetop stuffing and wrapped that and gave it to them because I said, sometimes gifts should be practical, and sometime one day you'll appreciate that box of stovetop stuffing probably. So anyway, so it was a lot of fun. And then now, gearing up for the new year, as a lot of you guys know, we have a Tres Leches comedy show coming up tomorrow, Friday. For those of you listening on Saturday, you missed it. But for those on Facebook Live, tomorrow at the Alzavar Shrine off of Alta 1604, a little past Stone Oak there, me and Cleto and Danny will be doing our Tres Leches comedy show. Doors open at 7, showtime's 8 p.m., and it's going to be a blast, and all you guys are invited.
Awesome.
If y'all
Awesome.
free,
Yeah.
let me know,
Awesome.
and we'll put you on the guest list. Okay. So you can message me if you want to pre-order some tickets to lock down a table. If not, just show up, and we're going to have a lot of fun. So, again, moving into the new year, I've been evaluating a few things. where my life is going, where it's been. Not real pleased. No, no, it's been a great year. I'm super excited.
Wow.
I'm working on.
Do we need to talk about that later?
Yes, that's what we're talking about. Desiree. Desiree's going to help me with my goal setting and stuff. But yeah, no, I'm already kind of working on my new vision board and stuff for 2019. So for 2018, ending 2017, I created a vision board, and I tell you what, for 2018, most of everything on there has pretty much come to fruition or is in the process of coming to fruition. And I've talked to people about this, like, if you're going to do anything, make this vision board. One of the big ones was on my vision board in 2017, I put down ancient Rome. I just cut that out, put that on there because I've always wanted to travel to Rome. Mm-hmm. And then I tell you what, going into January, we get an email from one of these new designers that we work with through our bridal shop that says, hey, excited to have you guys on board. We're doing our spring collection show to show what's going to be coming out this next year, and we'd love to bring you guys up to Rome, expenses paid, and wow, and that just awesome. Out of nowhere, like that was like the big one. I mean, I was looking for the little one, like, hey, but the big one. And so when I was up there, when I went to the Roman Coliseum, I did a Facebook Live from there. I talked about that, just, man, this is how quickly it happened,
Wow.
So. And I'm sure all of you guys are involved with so many things. I would almost guarantee you guys are all like goal setters and
absolutely
kind of visionaries and things and all that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I think that we're gonna have some good conversation. So anyway, but so that's kind of.
Well, Roman, when I was talking on Messenger with Desiree,
Yes.
I mentioned that yourself, I believe Chris as well, I know Angelita, we all believe in the law of attraction.
Yes.
And the whole vision
For
board.
attractive people.
Hey. Because I mentioned that the reason I ended up on this show was because I kept saying you need to have me as a host, special guest co-host on the show.
Yes.
And
You know what? You're right, Mike.
Within 5 to 6 months, here I
You
was.
pretty much spoke it, because when you first said it, I laughed and laughed and laughed when I got that message, and I said, oh, this guy. He ain't ever going to
Silly boy.
see inside of this studio. It's the last thing I do. Next thing you know, he's here as our producer. So, no, you're right, Mike. You bringing it up brought it to my attention. And I went, I've known Mike, and I know he's done film stuff. And I know Mike to be a solid guy, and he's a go-getter. And then so I said, you know what? Right, it started off with, let's try this out for a few weeks, see what happens. And then, man, things started popping, and then here you are, Mike. And so... And there's a lot of other things that you've wanted to do that have kind of springboarded from different things like that. So,
well, I got to say, too, which is interesting, is that Wednesday I was talking about seeing the magic and how I was sitting with a young woman who had this opportunity right in front of her, and somebody offered her like to have her art, displayed in their shop, and she wasn't going to take it. And I said, you got to see the magic. Like, look at the magic, and being willing to see that. Like your email that came through was like the magic of being able to go to Rome.
Right.
Thursday, I go to the Santa's shop or whatever to do this thing and meet him. Like right after I did a Facebook Live about seeing the magic, and then I was like, "Oh, well, I don't have anything to do next," and here I am.
And you're
so
in a
it's
wizard
like
hat, basically.
Wizard.
Right.
So yeah, you got to be able to see the magic when it comes in front of. It's not just about law of attraction; it's being able to see the thing when it comes
you're right.
to you.
And opening up your eyes to see all the things around you. And I've always said this, like with someone, all I can do is present opportunity. I can't make someone take it, right?
Right.
That's what life does to us. It'll give us an opportunity, and are you gonna see it? Are you gonna open your eyes, or are you gonna still just be so caught up in whatever you're doing at the moment, or like that sauce. So so that's great stuff. And then it's funny, because then Mike's like, oh, it tells me you're coming out. I said, oh, I know her. I said, we did an event one time, and she
I
was
don't
there.
think you believed me when I was like, yeah, I know who Roman is. I met him
He
already.
gets tired of hearing that. He's like, hey, I'm like, oh, we go way back.
Oh, that's Cleto.
Right, that's Cleto, yeah.
Funny
Those guys
story.
confused.
So in my house, I have a huge portrait of the Tower of Paris.
Oh.
And I bought it because I was like, one day I want to go there, right?
Yes.
Well, this past summer, I did a tour.
Look at
And,
you.
There you go.
At
Nice.
Paris.
And there I am. And I
Yeah.
took that
Yeah.
picture and didn't even realize at the time until I got home.
Yeah.
I was over there in London for like 2 weeks. I was in London, Paris,
Right.
and Scotland.
Right.
When I got back, I'm sitting in my living room looking at the pictures, and I see this picture of me in front of the tower, and I look up at my wall, and there's this big old picture of the Tower
And
of
that's
Paris.
something.
And I was
See?
like, wow.
See, it
Yeah.
materializes. These things materialize. Speaking of things materializing, my good friend Crystal just walked in, and she's now donned a New Year's
Crystal,
hat.
what's up?
What are you doing, Crystal? What are you? Oh, you brought us candies.
Swedish fish.
What?
I call these squishy fishies.
Hold on, we gotta explain this. It almost looks like it's gummy bears, but it's fish.
It's like Swedish fish, but instead of one flavor, you get like 4 flavors.
Are they all fish flavors?
Man.
No, thank God.
I'll take
All
the
right,
cart.
Thanks, appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
All right, Crystal, hang out with us.
I remember those from like
you can
pranks
switch.
as a kid.
Okay, here we can all try some here in a bit. So, all right. Well, like I said, yeah, I want to get into a little more of that conversation, but I want to give each of you guys, since y'all have such awesome stuff going on, some time to talk about what's happening in your lives and what you got going on for 2019. And I want to have Lenore kind of start here and tell us a little bit about, first of all, how was your 2018, Lenore?
Oh, it was awesome. It ended pretty good. My last competition was in August in Pittsburgh and won both of the divisions.
Look at you.
And
Congratulations.
Thank
All right.
you.
Congratulations.
So I ended good, and I'm chilling for probably another 9 months. So I'm not going to
Chilling for 9 months. Gee, you're going into hibernation or something there.
Well, because we're traveling so much, so it's really hard to get ready for a competition when you're traveling so much.
Right.
And so
You travel a lot. I love it. I live vicariously through you a little bit. On
through
some stuff.
Georgia to here to California, Florida. So
Yeah.
we're just doing too much of that. So
Yeah.
it'll be another 9 months, and then I'll probably do Pittsburgh again in August
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and get ready for that.
Now, have you been into fitness like all your life, or is this something that happened late? Like I have a friend of mine who is an amazing fitness model, but it's funny because I'm sorry, I'm chewing these fish, these Swedish fish, and spitting all over this microphone. Okay, don't taste like fish. That's a great thing. So, and yeah, she was like, up until like was finishing college, she was like, meh, just whatever. And then for some reason, she says, you know what, I'm gonna really get into fitness. And boom, like she became incredible.
Yeah.
So
Well,
how did that happen for you?
No, I've been in fitness for 26, 27 years. Fitness instructor, personal trainer, and so on and so forth. But
Right.
it was actually when I went through a divorce that I even went in. I was already 36. And I'm 48 now. So wanted to do one competition, y'all. I just wanted to do one.
Bucket list.
And yes, it was on my bucket list, just like everybody had visuals. I want to do a competition. I want to be on a cover of a magazine. I want to be on a billboard. I wrote stupid stuff down, and every single one of them I did.
No, that's
And
great
yeah,
stuff.
so
Yeah, that's awesome.
I used to
That's what I'm
stand
talking
right
about.
there, do a show. Remember? I used
You
to
know
do
what? That's right. You had your
Kaiser Top.
show.
I had a radio show. So
Right.
just stuff like that you never even think of. You just say, I want to do that. And so
That's something.
it ended up being where went did all divisions, and now I'm in women's physique and GNC and Lions Den. They sponsor me.
One of your
so-
sponsors, right?
Mhm.
GNC.
Yeah, so
Hello,
they-
GNC.
Yeah, they've been very good to me. So
That's incredible.
Awesome.
That's
Congratulations.
incredible.
That's
Thank you.
And so it's funny because I was joking about this yesterday with somebody, how like people get in relationships or get married and they kind of let themselves go, right, to a certain degree.
No, I say-
like you don't have that
yeah.
option.
this is my when I talk to my friends, I said, whoever you pick, I want you to really look at them really well, because either they have to have really great habits or you have to have really great habits, because he's going to change into you or you're going to change into him. So you decide.
There
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
right.
That's a good point. That's good advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that it happens. Like people get comfortable and there's, and next thing you know, like I have I have friends that I went to school with, and some of like I don't recognize some of them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm not saying, I'm a Fabio or anything, but why aren't you saying that? No, but I at least try, and it just seems like, that's not good. So a lot of people now going into the new year, obviously everybody has New Year's resolutions. They want to get fit. They wanted this. They wanted that, which is great. But really, it's not about just I'm going to go on a diet. It's a lifestyle
It's
thing.
a
It's
lifestyle
forever.
change.
It's not for just 2019.
Yeah.
It's for forever, right?
Exactly.
And-
most of the people that I deal with, I'm sure like she does, as far as I don't have to tell you how to work out. I don't have to tell you how to eat, but I do have to, people need accountability. And so when they don't have that, they tend to, especially if they're surrounding themselves with people that don't even have those habits of even
Yes.
trying. So
Yes.
it's the hardest thing to get past is what's on
Or
your
those
shoulders.
that eat Swedish fish.
Swedish
yes.
fish, down in
Oh my
Swedish
God.
fish.
Yes.
Are they
Yes.
gluten free? Are they, so. Well, it's funny because I remember a long time ago I heard, was it Bill Phillips? Because Bill Phillips, he had a magazine and
Oh yeah.
a book and also, and I was reading his book, and one of the words of advice he gave was, don't go eat with your fat friends. And I thought, that sounds pretty harsh. That's why I never go to lunch with you, Mike. But it sounds harsh, but it's true, though.
It's true.
Because a lot of times, you'll kind of give in and like, screw it, we're just all here. Go ahead and give me some chili cheese fries and whatever. Because that stuff is a decision every single time.
Exactly.
I mean, I've been losing, I've lost weight over the past couple of years, and a lot of it is just like, literally, you're at lunch and you're like, okay, what am I going to eat? A cheeseburger and fries, or am I going to go with some chicken breast?
But have you noticed that you also changed who you surround yourself with?
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah, Mike's lucky he's even around. So, but it's true. You change who you're hanging around with all kinds of stuff, whether it be fitness or like Desiree, right? The people you get around with, you try to, it'll just happen where you're now around more like-minded people, kind of in your thinking. I like having people who think opposite of me or do things opposite of me because it gives me perspective. But for the most part, right, you become like those you associate with.
Exactly.
So
well, and I don't know that it's about being opposite of you, but more different.
Or different.
Because, like, if they're the opposite of you, then maybe they are eating the bad things, or the things that aren't so healthy. But if they just eat differently than you, then you actually can elevate yourself to their eating
differently
habits.
is good.
Yeah.
Differently is good because I learned a lot of stuff from people who think but I mean like opposite. I think like in thinking because sometimes I want to be reminded of maybe what I don't want to do, or two, sometimes people will bring, like I said, something to me that I had never thought about. So, but yeah, so I guess what would you say then, Lenore, and you probably get this question all the time, what would you say for someone moving into 2019 who is saying the same things a lot of people are saying, I want to lose weight, I want to get more fit, I want to get whatever. Yeah, new year, new me.
That's a big question.
I mean, it's a huge question. You've got 20 minutes and go. I mean,
but,
people need baby steps. So
they
what
do.
would you say?
The people, like when I do my fit challenges several times a year, the one thing that they lack, they may know how to grocery shop, they may know how to exercise and so forth, and it's simply the accountability, and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So I don't need to go with them to show them how to use weights a lot of the time.
Right.
Some of them I do, but I don't need to go with them grocery shopping to show them how to buy. But they do need somebody to be accountable to.
Sure.
We all do, so in some way or another, but that's like the biggest key. And if you can't find it with a friend, then invest in yourself. A lot of people do not invest in themselves, and they don't.
That's a good point.
They don't take the time to. They're okay to go spend $100 on their husband or wife, but they won't spend $50 on a personal trainer.
Right, right, a coach or whatever.
For accountability, you have your 9-week challenge.
Yeah, I do have a 9-week challenge coming up January 4th. Perfect time, right?
Yeah, right. No, it is. And so, how do people kind of?
They just need to go to www.lenoregregson.com and learn about it.
Look at you.
My name.
just go to me.
Go to me.com.
Yeah. No, that's great. Those challenges are great because, again, it gives someone some accountability. It's part of a group. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, and the nice thing about it, you don't have to be in town. I have people from out of state. I've had people from out of the country do this before.
Nice.
And so I basically give them a layout of what they need to do on a daily basis. They're every day they have some kind of interaction with me. But I don't care how you get from A to Z. If you worked 8 to 8, then you figure it out in your day. Right. This is how I do my A to Z on one day. You go figure it out how you're going to do it. All I want you to do is do it.
Yeah,
so,
that's awesome. So. No, that's good. And a lot of it too, people need to break old habits or just old mindsets. I remember I've always talked about this. I was a fat kid. I know you're surprised. No. And my mom used to try to get me to exercise. She would put me in sports. And I was never really that great in sports. I could talk a good game, but I was never really that good. So mentally, I will destroy you. But in the game, I'd probably lose. Look at Chris. But I hear Chris laughing the soundproof glass when I said that. So anyway, so my mom puts me in baseball, and just fat little kid who don't know how to play. And then she, on the way to the game, would stop and buy me Hershey bars so that I would have energy for the game. So now I was just a hyper fat kid running around the outfield, missing every ball that went out there, and just fatter each time I showed up to a game. So,
but mentally you had them.
Right, but mentally, right, I was winning, and
I will kill you.
Yeah, but it was funny because again, just a bad habit that mom, kind of whatever. I don't know what the thinking was, but she said, she's all me whole. Our family, we've just always been fat, and it's like, what? As I sat there eating pizza, what? So, impossible. So, but yeah, a lot of times you got to get past these mindsets.
So
Speaking
I have to
of
be here
fat.
so everybody can see. Were you one of the kids that would hit your hat like you were running really fast?
Mike, that's so funny. You know what? I did that a couple of times. I never remembered that. So right now, you are a jerk. Hey, I still do it. I'm going to do it when I leave here. I'm going to knock this New Year's Eve hat off. I'm just going to run in my car.
That's not true, though, because my entire family doesn't work out, and I do. So, I mean, total opposite.
Well, and so for you, like, was it something you did see and say, you know what, I'm going to be different? Or
no,
did you just feel like
no.
just...
I mean, my story comes from way back, and it's way too long, but basically when I was young, I went through a stage of anorexia, so I had the opposite problem.
Wow.
I almost died from it. I was like 52 pounds and almost
Oh, my goodness.
dead. So, needless to say, I learned how to eat correctly.
Sure.
And I learned how to overcome that, and it took me about 3 or 4 years to finally do it. And I forced myself to go to places to counsel younger children. There's 13-year-olds that their parents or their mother is talking to them horribly, and they just think
Body
they're fat,
image
and
stuff.
they have body image
Self-esteem.
issues.
Yeah, isn't that
So
something?
I had the opposite issue.
Wow, but it's
So-
good that you took that and turned it into a positive.
Exactly.
And because, yeah, it's amazing. You have people that they think they're too skinny, they think they're too fat, they think they're too short, they think they're too tall. Like, everything. Mike's all of them. He's like, one day he's too short, one day he's too tall. So, but yes.
April and Sierra
Oh.
Thompson says, I work out because she felt like posting something.
April does work out. April, I tell you what, that's work out is not a good way to put it. Like, she does the Iron Man. She does the Iron Man. It's like, come on now. I told April to come back and visit us, and she's
I keep telling her no.
Yeah, I bet you do.
I think that's an interesting point too about like being around family and how do you make those decisions. And I was just talking to a client like last week about they choose to eat differently, and then they go out with their friends and family, and they feel like they have to like create disconnect by like being ugly about their choices, where you can just be positive about it and say, hey, like I want to eat this way and this makes me feel good.
Sure.
You can eat your way. I'm not going to shame you. I'm not going to create problems for you, but I'm just going to create my own boundaries. And I think that's the hardest part, is like creating boundaries when you have all this pressure to like take a shot, take a drink, eat the taco.
Yes, please.
Okay.
I'm gonna make fun of my sister Melissa, right?
Yes.
My sister Melissa thought Nutella was healthy because it's had the word
It's
nut in
nuts.
it.
Oh,
And I
Nice.
just start laughing when I heard her tell me that, and I was like,
that's-
"Oh, because they're not going to tell you that it's bad for you."
Nice Nutella humor. That's funny. No, but it's true. People don't know, like, or they assume certain things. I had a friend of mine one time. He told me a story about his wife's friend had gained all this weight. He says, and she, she couldn't figure it out because she was doing like a slim fast at the time. I was thinking, she was doing slim fast. She's a stewardess on an airline. Angelita, how many things did you bring?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm here trying to talk. She's like piling.
Hat.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
party
walk
favors
around
on us.
like this
And
all
so
day.
so the lady couldn't figure out why she was gaining weight. She's like, I'm doing slim fast, right? And but the thing is, she was down in like 6 slim fasts a day.
Oh my
And he
gosh.
was like, she was eating like 6 full meals in addition to regular food. She couldn't figure out why she was ballooning up. It's like, come on,
Isn't that
Just
the
'cause
Mean
it's-
Girls Lara bars? Like,
right. That's what I'm saying. Like, hey, and too much of a good thing, It's like, so anyway. Well, that's great, Lenore. We got party favors. Sorry for those of y'all who had your volume turned up. But so follow Lenore, LenoreGregson.com, right? That's it.
Right.
Okay. And follow what she's doing. Get involved in the fitness challenge, because that's a great way to get kickstarted with stuff. I say that, but I started a challenge. It was more like a, kind of an improve your life challenge, a 30-day challenge, and like day 2, and then I got so busy I haven't checked back since. It's been like 2 weeks, so I'm like, do it, everybody. I'm like, no. But so I'm gonna get back on. I'm gonna catch up on all 14 days, like in one day.
But you didn't have the Lenore hounding you.
No, it's true. I need the Lenore hounding me. I need the Lenore, especially through the holidays. I mean, I still try to, been watching, but I'm just like the sweets. I'm like not even saying no to anything. I'm just like everything. So, oh well. So, all right. Hey, but speaking of the holidays, what makes your holidays super fun?
Ooh.
Parties with friends, much like today, and good times. And you also need the delicious Tito's vodka to make your party awesome. So here's a quick word from our sponsor, Tito's Vodka.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito set out to build a microdistillery, incorporating elements of artisan craftsmanship from boutique wineries into the spirits industry. Pot distilled, made from corn, Tito's is naturally gluten-free, crafted in Austin, Texas, to be savored by spirit connoisseurs and everyday drinkers alike. For Tito's recipes, infusion ideas, Tito's swag, or to learn more about our story, visit Tito'sVodka.com. 80 proof Tito's Handmade Vodka, crafted to be savored responsibly.
All right, and we're back, and just in time because Mike said a curse word during the break that we don't have to edit out. That's how Mike is really, he's on it. So,
we're not supposed to cuss?
well, you can, but then we got to go edit it. Blah, 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 blah. You know, FCC, got issues with it. Yeah, I've had them bring up the weirdest things. So, hi, Chris.
I know.
Look at Chris over there. Yeah, so, all right, well, Desiree, you were chiming in a little bit on this conversation. And so, again, a little bit about what you do. Give everybody, again, your background.
Yeah. I'm a lifestylist and desire coach. And so I primarily coach people to have their very best life through better relationships with themselves, with others, with their family, because how you do anything is how you do one thing. So, and it is all relationship based. I was chatting with Lenore out in the lobby earlier about how San Antonio is I consider it a very feminine city because it's based on relationships and who you know and how you make people feel versus like what you know and what you're doing. And so I love this city, and I love helping people improve their businesses and their lives and their relationships through those better relationships. And, yeah.
And people need that kind of help a lot of times. Like people, I've always said, like, a lot of times you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes you need someone to bring some new insight. Or, two, like Lenore says, you know what to do. You just sometimes need someone right there that's going to kind of keep you on track, right?
Correct.
Right. And so a lot of what I do is reflecting back to people their own perfection and their own like ability to manifest. And we were talking about law of attraction and magic. And, a lot of what a coach does is they point out to you what you can't see yourself because you're in your own stuff. I'm going to be really careful because I have a tendency to use 4-letter words.
Well, if it happens.
So I'm like,
if it happens.
I was like, stuff. So you're in your own stuff. And
you can use at least one or two because we had a guy use 48.
I'm watching this guy over here. So.
48 in one episode.
He's got to make note of when it could. Yeah, we had one in here. Every other word was the F word, and he was like, "Oh my god, like we're gonna do it." It doesn't sound like a rap song that you're hearing on the radio because everything's gonna be like blip, blip, blip,
right.
But no.
So, but anyway, that's it's in some traditions it's called crazy wisdom, where I've been through it, I've experienced it, I've put myself in the middle of a lot of stuff, but I've actually lived a pretty interesting life. And when I look back at it, because I have a positive perspective of it, all of the things that I went through, like poverty and abuse and trauma, I can't actually look at it as a negative. It's all a blessing, and it's all been how I got to where I'm at. And so because I've been through those things, I can then help other people see what they're going through, see from an outside perspective, and say, hey, maybe that's causing a block or a fear for you. And I am a certified coach, but I'm also an NLP practitioner, and NLP is all about like clearing out those blocks in your subconscious so that you can raise to the next level, so you can hit your zone of excellence rather than staying in the zone of genius. If you need a book to read, The Big Leap for the New Year by Gay Hendricks. He's awesome.
And tell people, too, what NLP is, because I'm familiar with that with people who, but a lot of people maybe don't understand what necessarily that is.
So NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. And one of the...
I first heard that through Tony Robbins. I remember.
Yeah, it's in a lot of what we do. And it's really, on the very simple level, it's positive languaging. It's positively managing your thought process. And sometimes that is managing your subconscious. And so as a coach, like a lot of times what I'm helping people do is reaching those deeper questions, those deeper levels of their subconscious to clear out the things that they don't even know are blocking them. Right. They don't even know that like that fear that they had of that their parents put in their head of, oh, this is a good one. How many of you guys have heard the like children should only be seen and not heard?
Sure.
Yeah, and
that
so
used
then
to be a very common thing.
Totally. I still hear it from my mother at times when she's talking to her grandchildren.
That's a good reason.
Hey, you don't know me that well.
There's always a comedian in the room,
right? But the thing is like that that languaging that we hear in our head, it actually affects our ability to reach our zone of excellence later on in life, because now you have this process, you have this limiting belief in your head that says, I should only ever be seen and not heard because my voice is not valuable.
Right.
So helping you clear those kinds of things out, and that's what I really love to do. And going into the new year, I look at, you know, if you're going to go into the new year and you want to, my biggest thing is just start, you know, just do, you can start now. You can, you don't have to wait till the new year. You can start today, this minute, you know.
No, you're right. And there's so many resources, you know, you know, people like yourself, amazing books out there, you know, even things on YouTube that people can go to look at. Like I said, this thing like Ian's doing tonight, this live video. And for those of y'all watching or listening, go to Evolved Life. Follow that Facebook page. It's a great page. But yeah, stuff like that all makes a big difference. Because I know for me, again, the other thing that was put in my head as a child is we've always been fat, and we've always been poor, and that was just in my head.
It's so funny you say that, because my mother used to call me piernas grandes because I had big legs when I was a cheerleader. But for years in class, people, when I would teach classes, aerobic classes, people thought my legs were burnt or something, because I always wore leggings, long leggings. And finally one day I showed up in shorts. After, I'm talking like 15-something years, nobody saw my legs.
Wow.
And my class was like, whoa, you have nice legs. And I was all like, and I didn't realize what I was doing to myself. And then I started laughing. I said, oh, my God, my mother has corrupted my mind.
You were hiding them.
I was hiding them
because of what you had heard. Right. And then look at you now. Like,
Exactly.
people look, oh, my God. They're like, I wish I had your legs. I mean, I'm not saying
Well,
that.
for those people that want more
money.
money and more abundance in the new year, like that relationship to like we're fat and we're poor.
Yeah.
You know, when you have that belief that you are poor, you will be poor.
Right.
But if you have a better, like, and I talk to people too, like they have a poor relationship with money. They have this idea that money is bad or money is evil or you should be guilty. Well, if you were a friend and you thought your friend was bad and evil and guilty, they wouldn't want to be your friend anymore. So money's the same way. Why would money want to be in your life if you have that image or that mindset towards it? So change it.
Exactly right.
Money's good.
Money's great.
Yeah, right.
Abundance is good. Magic is amazing.
I said on that video with Ian. I said I've always said that, you know, people, you know, money doesn't buy happiness, but it makes misery a lot easier to deal with. You know, so but yeah, because I remember, you know, when I was younger, one of my first friends who I grew up with who became like very successful. You know, one time I was working and he stopped by in his new Lexus and. Wow, and he's like, hey, man, you want to go for a spin? And sure, and he's like, drive it. And he has me driving it. And I'm like, this is awesome. You know, like I had a car at the time that sometimes worked, you know. And so this was like cool to me because I'm thinking, man, me and this guy, we grew up together. And look, here he is, you know, very successful now. And I remember him telling me, he goes, you know, Roman, he goes, you know, money only enhances what you already are, right? It's not good or bad. It's what you are doing with that. And so that was one of the first times that little things started going off in my brain, really, of, you know what? Yeah, and thinking positively about stuff like that. So anyway, so awesome. So tell everybody, Desiree, how they can find you, follow you, maybe get some coaching from you or what they need to do.
So you can find me at my website, DesireeCruz.com.
And it's DESEE.
DESEERECRUZ.com.
Okay.
And on Instagram, it's Desiree M. Cruz, because, I was a personal person before I was a professional person. So thank you, Instagram and Facebook.
Right.
But all of my professional pages are Desiree M. Cruz. You can find me both on those places. And I do have a special right now on my website. It was a gift kind of a gift challenge that I started with a friend of mine. And if you want to if you want to full on coach with me and have an amazing, crazy transformation in the next year. And, one of my favorite clients, she said she's going to write the foreword to my book that I don't even know that I'm writing yet, but
nice.
She said so.
There you go.
She went from single and deployed and no house to having the perfect dream house, the perfect man, getting married in Italy next year.
Nice.
So if you want to have that kind of transformation, you can work with me longer.
I'm looking for the perfect man to marry me in Italy.
Yeah, right? So, and I already got married. I'm good with that. But anyway, but if you want to just get a plan, I have an option on my website. You can book your own appointment, and it's a strategy session, and it's success starts with you. It's about how you can make the change for yourself, and start with looking at a deep look at yourself. And it's just a 1-hour strategy session, and gives you a little bit of a taste of what it's like to actually have that transformation.
Yeah, so people can really see, hey, is this something I'm going to full blow
Yeah.
commit to blown.
Yeah, and just so like,
Sorry,
and I
Freudian.
think that this is kind of a very, some coaches do this kind of thing as a lead into a sales funnel. This is actually not a lead into a sales funnel. You're going to get a 1 hour intensive coaching session, and if you decide you want more, we'll talk about that later. But I'm not using it as a sales funnel. It is actually a special price gifted to people that maybe don't think that they can afford coaching right now.
Yeah.
Because I think that's a big limiting belief that people have is that they can't afford to change their lives.
Yeah, that right there is
but you
something that
can't
needs to change.
afford to not
Like
change
Lenore
your
said,
life.
investing in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
Invest in yourself.
Invest yourself, but can you afford to not change is the real question.
Exactly.
And so I was gifted this kind of pricing when I first got my first life coach. Every coach has a coach in some way, right,
Sure,
Lenore?
right.
Like if they don't have a
Absolutely.
coach, they didn't get there on their own.
And
Accountability.
It's funny you say that because
You probably have a coach still.
Oh, of course I do. After all these years, Roland Gonzalez from the Muscle Factory. But I've had people say, "How you know what you're doing? Why do you need a coach?" I said, "Well, the Spurs know what they're doing, but they have a coach." I said, "The football players
Great
that are
point.
in
Yeah.
NFLs,
You
and they
still
make
always need
millions of
that.
dollars." I go, "A coach needs to be coached."
No,
Needs to
that-
be
I'm
a
sure
coach.
that Tony
So
Robbins has got
true.
a few people on his speed dial that he
Sure.
calls up when he needs it. So,
Yeah, exactly right.
But that's what was gifted to me when I first started, and I would have never have thought that I could afford it at the time.
Yeah.
And I did, and now like I just cannot believe where my life has come in the last 2.5 years compared to where I was at before. So
That is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, good stuff. Okay, we'll find her. Desiree Cruz.
Small announcement.
Oh, is that why you're hovering over me?
April and Sarah Thompson and Cleto Rodriguez, cease and desist your sideshow, please. Thank you.
Are they doing their own thing on our feed? That's what they do. That's what they do. I'll let it slide because
Are they giving away a free car?
right. Free
my
car.
is it bringing traffic?
Free
Is the
car.
algorithm working? Is the question.
I don't even know how those algorithms work. I get sales funneled all the time, and I don't even realize I'm getting funneled. Next thing you know, I'm buying a projector and things I didn't need. So, oh my gosh. So, all right. Hey, you mentioned marriage. Some people have been down that road. And speaking of the bliss, or maybe not, I don't know. New year, new you. Let's have a quick word from our awesome sponsor, Bridal Connection.
Bridal Connection at Stone Oak will help you find your perfect dress for your perfect day. Consistently voted bridal favorite by San Antonio Weddings magazine, Bridal Connection offers amazing high-end designs without high-end pricing. Located on the 1604 Access Road between Highway 281 and Stone Oak, or online at bridalconnectionsa.com. Call 210-967-4696 to set your appointment today. Bridal Connection at Stone Oak, your perfect dress for your perfect day. 967-4696.
All right, and we're back. I like. Yes, Cleto, Crystal is the Rice Krispie lady. That was a question that was happening on our Facebook Live.
So we're the Rice Krispies.
So, I like how Angelita's handing out candies here, and I'm like offering a whole dish to Lenore. She's like, "No, thank you."
We're both like
and
passing
it's
it.
back to what we're talking about don't eat with your fat friends.
This is not soda.
Oh man, you guys are
Thank you.
gonna have me hyped up on sugar like a little
Oh,
kid.
my goodness.
All right, so continuing on with our awesome guests.
Oh.
Let us get to Kara Stevens and y'all
Mark
want
Little.
to share this, and Mark Little, and you guys are a dynamic duo here.
We are.
And so you have a show coming up in February. Sorry again, I'm eating candy. These guys are doing it to me. And at the Tobin Center, very
Yes.
nice.
Thank
A
you.
Valentine show, basically. Valentine
Yes.
celebration. it Says.
Yes.
Okay. And drinking water, eating candy. Sorry, I'm doing a complete disservice to your plug.
It's all good. It's all
But tell
good.
everybody about it, what they can expect.
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing show. And people are coughing. It's all good. But it's going to be an amazing show. We're going to have like 5-piece band. It's going to be a packed house. We already have a lot of tickets sold, which is great. And my amazing accompanist here, Mark Little, is going to be on piano. But it's just been great. I mean, we're really looking forward to it. Thank you to SA Monthly Magazine for featuring me as Singer and Entertainer of the Year on their cover. And I wanted to give a shout out to my life coach, actually, Sherry Braxton, who is on right now with us.
Hi, Sherry.
Yes, she's
Sherry.
she is amazing. Boom. But she's getting me in shape for this concert. So a big, huge thank
Well,
you
how
to
long have
Sherry
you and Mark
Fitness.
been together working as a duo?
We've been working together for about 3 years now. So he got me from the rock world. I was a professional rock singer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for about 4 years. And I was made a rock singer, I guess I should say, by a producer. And then when I found Mark, he introduced me to Bonnie Raitt.
Oh,
and
cool.
made me sing one of her ballads.
You know,
and it was
I think with a good voice, you can be anything.
Yes.
Across the board.
Yes, that is true. That is
so
true.
did y'all meet by chance, or y'all were introduced? Or?
His brother, Ken Little, was my professor at UTSA for 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
For music?
So, for sculpture
okay.
and painting,
Oh, so
actually.
you're a Renaissance woman.
Yes. I was supposed to go to New York as a sculptor on a full scholarship.
Wow.
So I made the whole turn. I've been singing since I was 3 years old. And I used to put on these like Broadway musicals at my house, which was really corny now that I think about it. But it all built me up to where I am today. But I would invite like 50 to 100 people to my house, and I'd play like every character in Phantom of the Opera and Les Mis. And I just loved entertaining. And I knew I was going to do it someday. And here I am. I'm doing it professionally.
Cool.
So it's
so
awesome.
and y'all are songwriting partners as well.
We are, yes. We do. We have one of our CDs here today that is just in the Grammys. And it's a beautiful duo record, all original. And I guess for me to describe like our feel, it'd be kind of like Diana Krall. What would you say, Mark? Like Diana Krall?
Melody Gardot.
Melody Gardot. I love Melody Gardot. Gosh. And then we have our live album here from
Now, are your
Amarillo.
writing sessions pretty smooth, or are they tumultuous? 'Cause I was,
I'm sorry?
Are your writing sessions pretty smooth with each other, or tumultuous?
Oh, yeah.
or?
It's funny because we get inspired when we're having fun. So it's like all of a sudden it'll just come up, like I'll say something. And he'll be like, wait a minute.
I wrote a
That's a
song.
song.
That's right.
Oh, you just now? Okay.
Yeah, Mark's got songs
One
going
and
through
a
his
two.
head. It's crazy. He's got songs going through his head like crazy. And you know, what's great about Mark, working with Mark, is he's such a goofy guy when he's not on the piano.
Nice.
He is.
But he's all business when it's piano time.
Yeah, when he sits down, he turns into like Beethoven. It's amazing. So I hope you can come and experience it at the Tobin Center, February 16th.
February 16th, Tobin Center.
And if you call in and get your tickets today, you get a free backstage pass to come see me behind the stage. So
I will be doing that.
Yay!
Yeah, I
We
will
have
be
no
doing
idea who
that.
that
that's
is.
awesome.
And a party hat.
And a party
I'll
hat.
bring the party hats.
And we got some Southern Comfort behind stage.
So is that today or is that
Just
Saturday?
February.
February.
No, I
16th.
mean the promotion that you're doing, is that today, like on the
Oh,
Facebook Live,
yes.
or is on
Point.
Saturday when the show that airs on Saturday?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, today. Today,
Today,
yeah.
Thursday,
Yeah.
On
27th.
Facebook Live.
Yes, on Facebook Live.
So for those of you, I'm just going to help you out here for a second. For those of you that are tuning into the Facebook Live
Yes, thank you.
today,
Yes.
you get that special. But for those of you that are going to listen on Saturday night for the replay, sorry.
And you missed the Tres Leches show. My voice just didn't change. Mike stepped in because that piece of candy, I guess it's God telling me not to eat that candy. I don't know, that sugar hit my throat. I've been having an allergy issue, and so I was out here dying. I didn't want to be all hacking and coughing on the microphone. And then I go down I step out in the hallway, there's a water fountain there, like the water fountain wasn't working. I'm like, I guess I'm just meant to die today.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's horrible.
Because I had that a couple years back where I had, I don't know what's going around. My son and I both had it.
Cedar.
Some coughing thing to where you start coughing and literally like your whole throat would like
Yeah,
just
tightness.
Oh, it's
seize
horrible.
up. It was scary.
Yeah, it's horrible.
It's like you cannot breathe. I mean, it's nuts.
yeah,
So.
I get that too.
But I'm here. I'm alive. I made it.
Woo! I'm so glad to have you back.
Yeah, I'm glad to be back. My eyeballs bulging out of my head. But so anyway, so good stuff. So we'll also post all this information for all you
Yes.
guys too on our Facebook page.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
be sharing that as well. And so, so speaking of entertainers still and singers, etc., my buddy Jacinto in studio here, gracing
house,
us with
baby.
his presence.
Woo.
So Jacinto, you mentioned your single that had come out.
Yes.
Tell everybody again the name of that.
There's Together We Will Rise. You can get it on iTunes.
Okay.
And there's Reach for the Stars.
Okay.
Which is also on iTunes.
Awesome.
And I'm loving this conversation, by the way, guys. Like, everything that everybody's talking about and representing as far as goal setting and manifesting and visualization and speaking the reality, it's what I'm all about.
Yes.
On the daily, guys.
Right.
I do chakra. I go to sleep. I meditate. I
Nice.
tell myself, all right, especially when I'm setting a new goal.
Sure.
It's an everyday thing. I wake up just excited to get on it, man. Just
Yes.
get on that grind, get on that hustle.
Yes.
And things get hard. It gets difficult,
course.
but you persevere, and then you learn from the things that don't work out. You grow. Les Brown, I listen to Les Brown all the time.
Right.
These are character building moments that we learn from, and we gain our perspective, and we continue to move forward.
Yes.
And before you know it, like I didn't even realize. I'm in Paris. I took that picture of the tower I was telling you about. I didn't realize till after it happened. I said, "Holy smokes!"
Yes.
I surrounded myself with this.
Right.
And I made it happen.
Right.
And so as far as the music and everything, all my music is positive lyrics. For Together We Will Rise, I shot it here in San Antonio. You could see the music video on my Facebook page, Jacinto Rodriguez, or you can go to YouTube and see it on YouTube. Just type in Together We Will Rise and then Jacinto Rodriguez. And one of the lyrics in that song is be a leader, visionary, just follow your dreams. The world is ours. You know, you can do anything. So all my music is surrounded on goal setting, persevering, moving forward, and making it happen. So everything I've done in my life, man, with the films, the music, the TV, the choreography, me doing my tours and working with these kids has all been based on just believing in your dreams, believing in yourself, and just making it happen.
Right.
So yeah, man, I'm loving this conversation with you guys.
And because you're a young guy, dude. Like you're a young guy, and so it's like there's things now that I think, man, I wish I'd have known this, 20 years ago. Right. And so you're at that point. Excuse me. And so, especially with a lot of what you do, there's people that would dream to do some of the things you've done, dream to have the kind of life that you are experiencing and continuing to grow with. But like you said, a lot of it, it's a mental game.
Absolutely.
You have to, like you said, tell yourself, hey, I'm worthy of this thing, right? Yep. And allow it to open up to come to you, because the stuff you've done is, the other day, Pitch Perfect was on, and I was watching, and I see your face pop up, and it makes me laugh. I'm like, I love it, man. I love it that I have friends that I see doing these kinds of things, because it motivates me, Yep. It motivates me to one day meet Anna Kendrick. Did you text her? I'm just asking. So,
and back to the circle that you surround yourself with. It's a huge deal. It's like Steve Harvey says: if you're surrounded with people that smoke, hey, you're eventually gonna smoke.
True.
Exactly.
You're hanging around people that drink, hey, you're eventually gonna drink.
Right.
But
enough about my family.
Yeah. All the people. So all the people that I surround myself are go-getters. And you said something earlier too. You said people would think different. They think different in a sense that they do different things. All my circle is in entertainment. Some people own their own businesses. Some people are in fitness, et cetera, et cetera. But they're all go-getters, man. It keeps me motivated, to be around them. They're like, oh, man, I can't wake up in the morning. I'm going to own this day. And I'm like, yeah, dude, let's go.
Right.
So,
you're like, who are you? Why are you in my bed?
So
no matter, bro. No matter. Hey, we're doing this.
So that circle is so important. So I tell the kids all the time, and especially I got this picture I want to show you. Let me take this off for a second. So I created these shirts, and on the front of it, it says, believe in you. And it's so important. And actually, here's a picture of me and my family on Christmas. And you can see it. All of them have the shirts.
They're all wearing the shirt that says "Believe in You."
Yeah,
and that's a great message.
Absolutely. So
it's a simple message that, hey, some people need to hear it.
So I've created thousands of these shirts, guys, and I've given them away to the kids that I've worked with.
Nice.
So there's pictures that I can pull up a couple more really, really fast of me and some kids that I've worked with, and on the front of it you'll see
you giving back like that.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful seeing these kids wearing that, because especially with kids that young, you putting that in their mind, man, the world is just going to be better.
Exactly. And me growing up, I don't have a lot of family entertainment. I'm the only one, actually. And with me and my little brother now, he's making it happen.
Nice.
But I wasn't growing up in a family like, hey, you can do this. Da, da, da. I remember watching Family Matters with Steve Urkel.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
And when I would watch that and I'd see these kids on the TV show, I would be like, hey, Mom, how can I get on that?
Right.
And she's like, I don't know, mijo. And I'm like, oh, thanks, Mom. But she never told me I couldn't do it. Right. She always encouraged, whether she knew anything about what I was trying to get involved with or not, she was always like, you could do it, mijo.
Right.
So I was like, cool, man. So I didn't, in my head, it wasn't like, I can't do that. That's not how I'm going to do it. It's like, I'm going to figure it out.
Sure.
That's exactly
so everything, I'm going to
do.
figure it out, dude. And that's what I did. I did my research. I learned how to get an agent. I learned what the audition process was about, because I went in green, man.
See, and I totally get that, because I have people tell me that they can't do something. And I said, if I want something, if I want to do something, it's not about it's not about that I can or can't have it.
Someone figure out
All I
how
ask
to.
myself is, what do I need to do
To make it
get
happen.
that? Yes,
Exactly.
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 Yeah.
Right.
YouTube helps a lot, man.
And that's the thing is that, you know, in taking a first step, right? Taking some action, right?
Absolutely.
Like calling to, hey, let me get this 1 hour of coaching, or hey, let me get in Lenore's, let me get part of Lenore's challenge, and you know, just taking a step to something. You know, some people just never even get that far. They talk about it, they think about it. You know, I'm sure you know you've had people that would love to do what you do, right, Kara? And but they never bothered to pick up an instrument or take a lesson or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I was teaching for a while, and I get so many students that, and I bet it's just technology these days, you know. I mean, they're like, I want to learn piano.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'd give them the homework. They'd come back. They didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they're like, but I want to learn piano. And I'm like, well, you have to do it.
Instant gratification
Exactly.
thing.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I have a 5 to 7
A lot
year
of people
old.
see me on stage and they think I was just born this way. It's like, no, there was like months and years of training and
Gotta put the work
sweating.
in. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have a 5
amazing.
and a 7 year old, and they're often like, it's very challenging sometimes because they want the instant gratification. They want to pick it up and they want to do it.
Right.
And I think what often happens is, like, as parents, sometimes we don't know how to support them and seeing the journey, because it's like, yeah, you can pick up and you can play the ukulele and you can go to town.
Right.
And if you want to sound really good and be a professional with it, then these are the steps to take you there. Instead of like, oh my gosh, you're making noise, go put that down. I don't want you to do that. Like, that's what I'm saying on the inside.
Right.
Mommy needs some quiet time. But you know, it's like, as a parent, it's hard to like see the steps to do that or have the support to do that. And even like for me, I had a pretty supportive like mother growing up, but she didn't know how. And even as an older person, I remember so I didn't think that I could go back to school because I wasn't going to have the money to go back to school. And I was married. I had really good income. My ex-husband had a good income, but I didn't allow myself to spend the money to go back to school. When I became a single mom and I had no income and no money and I went back to school.
Yeah.
And
now the desire kicks in.
Right.
Amazing what a little divorce will do for you.
Oh, yeah. Complete
But
transformation.
it starts with you, and you talked about it too. It's the self-esteem, and I love what you're doing, Haas, because self-esteem starts at that very formative age where they believe that they can do it.
Absolutely.
And that's where all of us need the help, and all of us need that belief, is to surround yourself with people that believe in you, that believe in themselves, that have that mentality, because it starts with self-esteem. Being in music, being a coach, being a fitness model. Model? Is that?
Well, in fitness field.
She's a model too, though. She's a model too.
Yeah. So
you don't stand on railroad tracks if you're not a model. I've seen some of those pictures on the
being in the you know, being on radio, it's like it's self-esteem, like, and we don't realize how our self-esteem affects what's going on in the background.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And that's why I was glad to have kind of this group together today. I thought it was a great mix, and going into the new year, I knew we'd have some great conversation. So now, Jacinto, what do you have coming up that people need to know about, or what should they do to follow you?
Well, I got a new song coming out. It's called Just Getting Started.
Nice.
So I'm really excited about that. It should be out in a couple months. Other than that, just waiting on the next film. My agents are working really hard on it.
Good.
And that's what's up with me. But you can hit me up on Instagram at Jacinto_Rodriguez3.
Now, you're going to have to spell that.
That's JACINTO_Rodriguez, RODRIGUEZ, and the number 3. And you can follow me through my experiences, my adventures.
That's awesome.
So yeah, my tour is going to be coming up starting in June for choreography. So I'll be starting traveling in June.
Great.
And my last job is actually in 2 weeks, so that'll be the end. I've been on the road since June 1st.
Wow,
so
you're going to take a little break.
Yeah, so I'm going to take a little break. We'll actually start rebooking, and then after that...
Can you help me choreograph something?
Yeah, dude.
I need my own dance.
You need dance first.
I need a thing.
But real quick, just give a message to all the viewers, all the listeners out there right now. We've been talking about believe in you and manifesting, and that's the truth, guys. If there's something, I don't care how old you are. When I did Pitch Perfect, I was 30 at the time, and the other people that were doing what I was doing were 20, 18, 22. It don't matter how old you are, guys. You just got to get started. All right.
Yep.
Get up. Do your research. If you don't know how to make it happen, get on Google. Do your research. Find an agent. If you want to start that business, make it happen. You can do it. Believe in yourself. Put in the work, the consistent work, and do it and get started. You're going to have bad times. You're going to have hard times. You're going to have diversity, but you persevere. You keep moving forward, and then you make it happen. And then when you get there, you got to maintain, and you got to keep on working. Yep. So that's my message to everybody there. Awesome. Blessings, make it happen. Happy New Year.
That's
happy
awesome.
Holidays.
Yes, and yes, blessings and happy holidays to everybody. Happy New Year. Hope you have a great 2019. I appreciate everybody helping us have a great 2018. We've had a good time. And so on the way out, we want to hear some music from Kara and from Mark. And so this is a little cut from them. So enjoy, and everybody have a great weekend, and God bless.
God bless.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Adios.
Please understand, I never meant to hurt you. I just need to be in your arms. If you could feel the way I feel about you, I just need to hold you always. Don't you see that I love